Everyone. Today we are about to presenting our discussion about difference of traditional foods between British, American, and Indonesian. So let's let's go. But first of all, let us introduce ourselves. Starting from me, my name is Ariel Maresca with the last name uh, 0089.
My name is Ruth Narulita with the last name 0092.
And I'm as the moderator of this presentation. Okay, next slide. Traditional foods. Traditional foods are foods and dishes that are passed through generations or which have been consumed by many generations. Traditional foods and dishes are traditional in nature and may have historic precedent in a national dish, regional cuisine, or local cuisine. Traditional foods and beverage may be produced as homemade by restaurants and small manufacturers, and by large food processing plant facilities. Some traditional foods have geographical indication and traditional specialties in European Union. Next slide, please. And then the British cuisine. British cuisine is the heritage of cooking tradition and practices in United Kingdom. New foodstuffs have arrived over the millennia, from sausage in Roman times, orange in Middle Age, sugar, potatoes, and bananas in the Columbian Exchange after 1492, and spicy curry sauces from India in the 18th and 19th centuries. Traditional British dishes include full breakfast, fish and chips, and shepherd's pie. British cuisine has distinctive national varieties in the form of English, Scottish, Welsh, and Northern Irish cuisines. Modern British cuisines has also been strongly influenced by other cuisines from around the world. Okay, next slide. So here we have British traditional foods. Number one, fish and chips. This dish is must try when we are in the UK. So it includes fish and chips, which means potatoes. And the very best place to eat fish and chips is in the open air by the sea. Just watch the seagulls. And then number two is bangers and mash, also known as sausage and mash. This traditional dish consists of sausage and mashed potato and is often accompanied with peas and gravy. And then number three, we got full English breakfast. They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, which is why if we are doing something physically or we're having an exam, this full English breakfast is the right breakfast. And then we got Sunday roast. The British love their Sunday roast dinners. This dish is made up of a roasted meat like beef, chicken, lamb, or pork, and then the roast potato, Yorkshire pudding, and stuffing vegetables. And then we got toad in the hole. This hearty dish is another easy recipe that we can make at home. It includes sausage in Yorkshire pudding, batter, and often served with gravy and vegetables. Okay, next slide. American cuisine. American cuisine is the cooking style and traditional dishes prepared in the United States. It has been significantly influenced by European, indigenous Native Americans, African Americans, Asian, Pacific Islanders, and many other cultures and traditions. With some of American cuisine is fusion cuisine. Many regions in America have like specific regional cuisine. Each are deeply rooted in ethnic heritage. For example, Cajun, Louisiana, Creole, Native American, New England, and many more. Okay, next slide. And then here we got American traditional foods. Number one, apple pie. Apple pie is one of the most American traditional foods favorite. They're saying American as apple pie. So this traditional foods has like the simple combination of sugar, buttery pastry, and tart sliced apples produce a dessert so extraordinary people have devoted their entire life to perfecting it. And then we got clam chowder. The clam chowder, it's basically some food that are having some looks. Maybe it looks hideous and being white and lumpy, but this food is delicious. So clam chowder is one of the most traditional foods in America. It it includes pork, heavy cream, and herbs. And this food is a total genius. Number three, we got drop biscuits and sausage gravy. A biscuit in America means essentially a flaky scone often made with lard and buttermilk. In places such as Montana, where people burn energy working on horse ranches, biscuits are eaten at breakfast smothered in a thick white gravy that is studded with bits of sausage. And then we got bagel and lox. This food is famous mainly in New York City. So trying this food, bagel and lox, is when you were going to New York City, you must try bagel and lox because this food is one of the most favorite and one of the most famous food in America, mainly in New York City. Okay, next slide.
Okay, Indonesian cuisine. Rendang is Minang dish originating from the Minangkabau region in West Sumatra, Indonesia. Rendang is often described as a rich dish of meat, most commonly beef or rendang daging, that has been slow cooked and braised in a coconut milk seasoned with a herb and spice mixture. As the signature dish of Minangkabau culture, rendang is traditionally served at ceremonial occasions to honor guests during festive events such as wedding feast and Lebaran or Hari Raya. Indonesia popular words for both Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. So this is of Indonesian traditional food. For the first is sate. Sate or satay is a food made from meat that is cut into small pieces and stapled in such a way with a stick of coconut or bamboo leaf bone. Then grilled using wood charcoal coals, satay is served with various spices depending on the variation of the satay recipe. The meat used for satay includes chicken, goat, lamb, beef, pork, rabbit, horse, and others. Satay is usually served with a sauce, which can be soy sauce, peanut sauce, or something else. It is usually served with pickles made from sliced salts, cucumbers, and cayenne pepper. Satay is eaten with warm rice, or can also be served with rice cake or ketupat. And the second is soto. Soto is a typical Indonesian food such as soup made from meat and vegetable broth. The most commonly used meats are beef and chicken, but some use pork or mutton. Soto is usually served with rice cake, ketupat, noodles, or vermicelli. To add the enjoyment of the soup, it is usually accompanied by a variety of side dishes, such as crackers, cakes, chips, chili sauce, and peanut sauce. And the third is rawon. Rawon is an Indonesian dish in the form of a baked meat soup with a mixture of special spices made using kluwek. The meat For rawon is generally beef cut into small pieces, mainly the brisket. The seasoning for the soup is very typical of Indonesia, which is a mixture of salads, garlic, galangal or laos, coriander, candlenut, lemongrass, turmeric, chili, kluwek, salt, and vegetable oil. Oh, okay. And the fourth is nasi goreng. Fried rice is a food in the form of fried rice and stirred in cooking oil, margarine, or butter, usually with soy sauce, shallots, garlic, tamarind, pepper, and other spices are added, such as eggs, chicken, and crackers. Nasi goreng is also known as Indonesian national dish. Fried rice can be enjoyed simply and at roadside stalls, street vendors' carts, restaurants, and buffet tables at parties.
Okay, more facts about British foods. So, number one, it's seasonal. Because British foods adapt to the inclement British weather, there are there are as many foodie options as ever. Changing climate, like a cold, blustery day, is perfectly complemented by hearty winter roast dinner, and no summer's day will be complete without strawberries and cream. So British foods is seasonal. They are they are having some few seasons with different foods regarding their seasons. And then number two, their British food is fairly healthy in the whole. Vegetables are vital components is the to most meals. No roast is complete without two eggs. So British foods as mainly has vegetables in their foods, but not for their French fries or chips. And number three, we're innovators. So British, they are one of the country who invented the sandwich, which means it includes bread and vegetables, and then there's meat like bacon or beef, lamb, or chicken. It's like it's turned into a one sandwich. Next slide. Next slide is more facts about American foods. Our diversity of foods. The US has diversity of foods, both homegrown and adopted, that simply cannot be matched by the UK, from tacos to clam chowder to key lime pie to barbecue. So US has diversity in terms of foods. So which means it's great, and it has like many various types of foods in the US. And then number two, it's salads. Some may think that Americans only eat fried things topped with bacon, so they may be surprised to find how important the salad is in America. So most of the people thought that American foods or American traditional foods is just mainly fried with the bacon. So they are like completely wrong, because they also has vegetables, which means salad, and they are love salads too. Even they have like salad bars, and they can even sneak bacons into salads. And number three, we understand corn, mistakenly believed to be edible fodder by our British friends. There's no end of wonderful foods that can be made from corn on the cob to corn shuffles to cornmeal crust, pizzas or tamales to corn dogs. So American is mainly has corn in their ingredients. So they could they could cook the corns, or they could organize the corn into the food, which means they are good in corn as ingredients as their foods. Okay, next slide.
Okay, more facts about Indonesian foods. For the first is history of Indonesia. Due to its beneficial geographic location, Indonesia has attracted many traders, pilots, and adventurers from all over the world. Our archipelago was most known for rich resources of species, especially in the eastern region, and these spice hunters soon turned into immigrants and permanent dwellers. And the second is table foods. On some other islands too, starchy foods such as noodles, corn, sago, cassava, and sweet are the main dish for every meal. Still, rice is the choice for the majority of Indonesians and holds an important place in our culture. 3. A must-have sambal. Perhaps the most famous Indonesian condiment is called sambal. Eating chili has become a culture, and each region has its own trademark chili that makes everything taste better. And we are in the conclusion. So we can conclude the difference between American, British, and Indonesian cuisines. First of all, the difference is at their seasonings. Indonesia is one of the most tropical countries in which Indonesia has lots of nature resources such as herbs and spices. Indonesian food has more seasonings. Because of that, Indonesian food has rich of taste due to our sense of taste that is accustomed to tasting strong flavors, mainly spicy, salty, and sour. British foods mainly has vegetables and it has some savory taste in their foods. Also, British foods adapt seasonal conditions due to the inclement of British weather. American foods mainly has corn as their ingredients and has rich taste of salty and savory.
Okay, everyone, and the audience, thank you for watching our presentation today. And we are happy to see that the audience are watching our presentation, and we'd like to say thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.